Good morning, dear students.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Yes,
Good morning, sir.
good morning. So, thing is, in our last class in chemical bonding, we were studying about covalent nature of an ionic bond. Regarding that, we have studied Fajan's rule. Fajan's rule says that whenever an ionic compound is formed between a small cation and a large anion, a small cation will have high polarizing power. It will pull the electron density of anion, that is, it will polarize. Similarly, the anion, if it is large enough, then the extent to which it undergoes distortion will be more. That is called polarizability. So smaller the cation, higher is the polarizing power. Larger the anion, higher is the polarizability. It will push the electron density away. As a result, the bond, ionic bond between a small cation and large anion will be uh, covalent in nature because electron density will be pushed towards the cation. Okay, so we have done that. After this, we are at important theories now. Okay, so there are three important theories which are proposed to explain the formation of a covalent bond and thus a covalent molecule. All the three theories are very important because in the examination, quite often questions will be there from any one of these theories. Rather, sometimes all the theories. Okay, even competitive exams. Those three theories are VSEPR theory, valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Next, valence bond theory. And the next one is molecular orbital theory. These three theories are very important. Okay. So now we'll take up valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Okay. Valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, abbreviated as VSEPR theory. The abbreviation itself is like a big heading, whereas the complete heading of the theory will explain what is it all about. Valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. There is electron pair in the valence shell which undergo repulsion, and there is some theory regarding that. Okay, so that's what the heading is. Okay, so why is this theory? What is the focus of this theory? Importantly, let's see now. Okay, so now when you take molecules like hydrogen, it's a diatomic molecule. Directly we can say H bond H is the structure, or it may be N2, N triple bond N, no problem. Oxygen O double bond O, CO, C triple bond O. See, these molecules we can explain the structure. Whereas if it comes to polyatomic molecule, it may be, for example, CCl4, carbon tetrachloride. What is the geometry? Based on Lewis structures, we would write a 4 chlorine atom surrounding carbon equally like this, and we'll have a bond pair shared between them, and 3 lone pair on each chlorine atom. But this would be the structure. But actually, this is not the real structure of carbon tetrachloride. This is not correct. Okay, then what is correct? So carbon will be attached to 4 Cl bond to give a particular structure for the molecule. This is the structure, this kind of structure. So who told this one? This concept was given by VSEPR theory. So importantly, the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory explains the structure of polyatomic molecule. Okay, so what is the concept? Let's take up now. Okay, postulates I'll just explain briefly. Okay, now according to this theory, valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, the structure of the molecule, polyatomic molecule, is due to the repulsion between electron pairs in the valence shell of central atom. Okay, for example, this is C, no? Yeah. For example, in case of carbon tetrachloride, central atom is carbon. 4 Cl atom are surrounding atoms. Now, the theory says the structure of the molecule is due to the electron pairs present in the valence shell of the central atom. Okay. Now, when I say electron pair present in the valence shell of central atom, those electron pairs can be bond pairs. The electron pairs present in the bond, shared electron pairs. Also, we say the, the electron pairs around the central atom may be bond pairs, or there may be lone pair also. What is the difference between bond pair and lone pair? Anybody?
Bond pair, it is bonded between the atoms.
So what is lone pair? Loaned between.
Free,
Pardon me? What is that?
which is not bonded.
It is just not bonded. Okay. The pair of electron not involved in bonding and localized on an atom is what is lone pair. Correct? So fine. Now, what did I say? The first sentence is the structure of the molecule. Is due to electron pairs present in the valence shell of central atom. Okay, structure of the molecule is due to the electron pairs present in the valence shell of central atom. I have written a little briefly. Okay, fine. Now these electron pairs are the bond pairs and lone pairs. They are the bond pairs and lone pairs. Is that okay? Now, these bond pairs and lone pairs around central atom in a molecule undergo repulsion. Okay, how come? There will be structure because of just these electron pairs in the valence shell. So further we are going to understand with the postulates like this. Okay, so electron pairs, electron repulsion will be there always, because like charges repel, electron is negative. So these electron pairs repel one another. They repel one another. So if the repulsion is more, happening in a molecule, always stability will be less. Why stability will be less? Whenever repulsion is there, energy, potential energy will be more. When potential energy is more, that particular molecule will have less stability. So electron pair repel one another and therefore move away from each other. Move away from each other. Okay, they just move away from each other, right? So move away from each other means they need to, the bonds will be moving away from each other. That's fine, but where do they go and settle? When do that moving away will stop? That's the thing, right? Now, so now electron pairs repel one another and move away from each other. Okay, Right. See, the resulting structure or the resultant structure of the molecule is that which possess the resultant structure of the molecule is that which possess lowest repulsion possible, lowest repulsion, and thus maximum stability. Okay, and thus the maximum stability should be acquired. So the electron pairs of the central atom in the valence shell repel one another. Whenever repulsion is more, the stability will be less due to more potential energy. Hence, electron pairs move away from each other. When they move away from each other, the repulsion decreases, stability increases. So, where do the movement of the electron pairs away from each other stop? The electron pair move till the repulsion acquired is lowest in that position, okay? And then uh, the stability attained will be maximum there. Okay, this is the thing. Next, if okay, if lone pair of electrons are present with bond pairs, if lone pair of electrons are present with bond pairs, then repulsion between electron pairs follows the order lone pair repulsion. Okay, when between lone pairs, repulsion magnitude will be higher than lone pair bond pair than bond pair. Okay, if the molecule contains lone pair of electron along with bond pair, then the magnitude of repulsion that exists between different electron pairs around central atom would be different. Which will have maximum repulsion? Lone pair repulsion will be maximum. Then lone pair, then bond pair. Okay, so hence what would happen? Because of difference in repulsion, hence molecules with lone pair, not able to write, I don't know. Hence molecules with lone pairs along with bond pair, that's the mean. Molecules with LPL, right? Lone pair with bond pairs possess distorted structures, we say. Possess distorted structures than the structures with only bond pairs. Okay, with only bond pairs. I'll repeat this statement. If a molecule contains only bond pairs, okay, then there will be some kind of structure expected. The moment a lone pair is present along with bond pair, due to difference in magnitude of repulsion, the structure will not be as expected, or the structure get distorted. Distorted means it will get deviated from the normal structure. Okay. So if the molecule contains only bond pair, then we say the molecule will have a regular geometry. Okay. So molecules with only bond pairs, only bond pairs will have regular geometries. Okay. If lone pair is present along with bond pair, that regular geometry will be distorted. That's the meaning. Okay. In considering the electron pairs, you should also know that multiple bonds present there around the central atom must be considered as an electron pair, as one electron pair. Okay, multiple bond. There may be double bond, triple bond between any two atoms. They must be considered as uh, one electron pair like that. Okay, so that's fine. So this is about the theory in brief. So electron pairs around the central atom will be present. They undergo repulsion. Those electron pairs can be bond pair and lone pair. Now, when they repel each other, they move away from each other. When they move away from each other, as the distance increases, repulsion decreases. When repulsion decreases, energy decreases, stability increases. So, the bonds will move away from each other till the repulsion attained is minimum, stability thus attained is maximum. So, at that particular point, the molecule attains a definite structure. Okay, the structure of the molecule is that structure where repulsion between the bonds or electron pairs is minimum and stability attained is maximum. Now, if molecule has only lone bond pairs, then the structure will be called regular geometry. What is expected is regular geometry. The moment a lone pair is present along with bond pair, the different repulsive interactions will establish, and because of difference in repulsive forces, the structure will be deviated. That is called distorted. Okay, right. So this is the concept of valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Okay. Now let us consider the molecules which contain only bond pairs. Okay. After understanding the structure of molecules with only bond pairs, which are called regular geometries, we'll then move on to the lone pair containing molecules. Okay. So I'll say molecules with only bond pairs. They possess regular geometries. Okay. Now, a molecule may have two bond pairs. Let's say bond pairs. There are two bond pairs. If two bond pairs are there, obviously it means that a central atom will have two bonds with two neighboring or surrounding atoms. Correct? No? Therefore, the type of molecule, the type of molecule, okay, will be, so with the two bond pairs, the type of molecule will be AB2. We see AB2 is a general formula. Here, A is a central atom. It's been connected to two surrounding B atoms. So if A has to be connected to two surrounding B atoms, there should be two bond pairs. That's the simple expectation. Okay. So if bond pairs are two in the molecule, then the type of the molecule is AB. Then what would be the structure? Structure of the molecule with the two bond pairs will be A at the center. Now bonds have to move away from each other, right? The bonds have to move away from each other. Let's say there is one bond, one central atom here. There are two bonds from this side one and another side. So if they are close to each other like this, if their bonds are very close to each other, the repulsion will be maximum. So the bonds or bond pair of electrons, they move away from each other so that they will be separated with maximum distance and the repulsion is minimum. So Ab2 molecule with only two bond pairs and no lone pairs will have this structure. This is Ab2. Okay, A at the center, B, 2B atoms surrounding. So the structure is obtained like this because with this structure, the electron pairs of the bond, they are separated with maximum distance and they have minimum repulsion, thus maximum stability. So what is this structure therefore called? Linear. Okay, the structure is linear structure. Okay, so with only two bond pairs, the molecule Ab2, it will have linear structure. If there is linear structure, the angle between the two bonds would be how much? Can you tell me? What is this angle?
180.
180.
Correct. Yes. So we'll take up further. If molecule has three bond pairs, what would be the formula of the molecule?
AB3.
AB3.
Correct. No, A will be there at the center and three surrounding atoms will be AB3. Okay. Now A is there at the center. Three bonds will be arranged in such a way that they will have minimum repulsion and maximum stability. This is the way. Okay. Three bonds have to be separated with maximum distance, means they have to go and occupy the positions like this. Now A is attached to 3B there surrounding. Now this particular molecule can be given the structure like this. For that, you just need to connect the 3B surrounding atom with the dotted line to imagine a structure for us. These dotted lines are simply drawn to assume a structure for this molecule. Okay, not should not be confused with bonds. B bonds do not have bond connected by bonds. B and B atoms are not connected by bonds. B and A are connected by bonds. These dotted lines are only to imagine or give a structure for the molecule. Now, this looks like A is there at the center of the triangle. B atoms are occupying the corners of the triangle. So this is all the atoms, one central atom, three surrounding atoms, totally four atoms are there. They all lie in the plane of the triangle. So that's why it is called trigonal planar geometry. Or triangular also, they say trigonal planar. So all the atoms of the molecule lie in single plane. That's why it is trigonal planar. Okay, right. So this is AB2, AB3. Next, we'll take up another molecule. If a molecule has four bond pairs, what would be its structure? Molecule, general formula.
AB4.
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 Which is the central atom?
A.
How many surrounding atoms?
4.
4.
4.
Okay. Now A is there at the center. Now four surrounding atoms with four bond pairs must be moving away from each other and occupy such structure where repulsion is minimum and stability is maximum. Right? So this is the structure. I had written for carbon tetrachloride, if you remember, right? So this is 4B atoms. Okay. Now, if you want to give the structure for this, you can connect the surrounding B atom with the dotted line. This bond slanting line is written slanting to indicate it is away from, above the plane of all the other atoms. Okay, it is just pointing towards the observer. Okay, now this particular structure is called tetrahedral. Tetrahedral structure. Okay, it is also abbreviated TD. Okay, TD is tetrahedral. Now the angle between two bonds in previous structure, triangular structure, is how much should it be? So 360 divided by 3 will be
120
degree.
120 degree. Whereas here it comes, since it is a non-planar structure. Why do we call it as non-planar? Because all the atoms of AB4 are not lying in one plane. Okay, so actually they assume two planes there. Two B surrounding atoms are in one plane, and remaining two B atoms are in perpendicular plane. Okay, so it is a non-planar structure, meaning it is not two-dimensional, it is a three-dimensional structure. So look at this angle. This is 109 degree 28 minutes. 109 degree 28 minutes is what is the bond angle in tetrahedral geometry. Okay, shape and geometry both you have to remember. uh, if you want, I can show you that how it is non-planar. One second, I'll just take some pencils or pen. Okay, now you can see the tetrahedral geometry, how exactly it is non-planar. Two bonds represented by these two pens. Okay, so these two bonds lie in one plane. Okay, this is remaining two bond pairs will be perpendicular to these two bonds. Okay, bond plane of this. Now you can see these two pencils represent perpendicular plane. So something like this, right? So two pens are in one plane that represent two bond pair, one B, another B attached. So another B, and so these two are perpendicular. This is tetrahedral structure. But what we have written there, the structure doesn't look like this, right? It actually looks like this, or it looks like this. It is right now. So one bond above, three bonds we have written like this. So I told this is pointing towards the observer. Any one will be pointing. Now this is pointing towards the observer. Is it okay? So this is tetrahedral structure. The angle between any two bonds will be 109 degree, 28 minutes. I think things are clear. Okay. So this is about molecule with four bonds. Shall I proceed now?
Yes, sir.
Next category will be 5 electron pair containing molecules. What will be the general formula?
AB5.
AB5.
AB5. Now 5 surrounding atoms means 5 bond pairs are there. Now A is there at the center. 3 B atoms will be there occupying the corner of a triangle. Okay, these are the 3 B atoms. And where are remaining 2 B atoms? One above the plane of this triangle, another bond pair will be below the plane of the triangle. Now, if you want to give the structure for this, to connect them with dotted lines, I will take this. This is triangular plane. 3B atom and one central atom A is there in that plane, and remaining two above and below, two bond pairs are there. Okay, if you want, you can give the structure for this by connecting the three bonds of the trigonal plane to the above bond and below bond. Like this. So in 3 dimension, this structure looks like a pyramid, right? It looks like a pyramid. Above what there is a pyramid. Likewise, below also there would be another pyramid. Oh, see, my tab is slipping. The lines I am not able to draw properly. Right. Now, what is this geometry therefore called? It is trigonal bipyramidal. We say it is trigonal bipyramidal. Trigonal bipyramidal geometry. Okay. Here, three bonds are there in triangular plane within the plane of the molecule. We say two bonds are perpendicular to the plane of the molecule. Now the bonds which are there in the inside the plane of the molecule are called equatorial bonds. They are represented by E, equatorial E. And there are two bonds which are perpendicular to the plane. They are represented as axial bonds. Axial bond means perpendicular bonds. So we write A there. Okay, I'll write here sidewise. When I say A, axial bonds. Axial bonds are perpendicular to the plane. Perpendicular to the plane. Okay, when I say E means equatorial bonds. Equatorial bonds. They are parallel to the planes. They are parallel to the plane of the molecule. Should remember always. When the structure becomes little complex, there will be equatorial and axial bonds. Yes. Now people have to tell me the bond angle between equatorial bonds. There will be two bond angles here now. What would be the bond angle between equatorial bonds?
120.
So it is triangular plane. It should be 120. The bond angle between axial and equatorial. Perpendicular to the plane means
90 degrees.
90 degrees.
exactly 90 degrees. And we don't encounter angle between axial and axial because between two axial there is one equatorial. Any two bonds, no? So therefore axial to axial doesn't arise. Okay, though it is 180 because there is a bond in between. So this is the structure with 5 bond pairs, the molecule AB5. And the last one is the molecule with how many pairs of bonds? 6. Correct? What would be the molecule general formula?
AB6.
AB6.
How many B surrounding atoms?
6.
So which is the
6.
central atom there?
A.
A.
Now this molecule has the structure like this. Now A is there at the center and it is surrounded by 4 B atom in a square planar like manner. Okay, like the previous case, no, it is triangular plane like that. A is there at the center of the square and 4b atoms will be surrounding that central atom A like a square. Let me draw it. Right. This is a square. A is there at the center, and B are there at the corners of the square like this. Okay, they are connected. These are 4 bonds. Like this. And there is one bond above the plane of the square. There is another bond below the plane of the square. Like this. So now, if you want to give a proper structure and as you tell which kind of structure it resembles like, then you connect all the 4 equatorial bonds to the axial bond above and below. Correct? So we need to do that. Like this. Connect all the 4 equatorial bonds to each axial bond. Like this structure. Now, it looks like a pyramid above and another pyramid below. Am I right? There is a pyramid above and another pyramid below. Now, if you see the pyramid above this square plane, okay, how many faces are there for the pyramid above? Can you? How many
3.
faces are there for? Huh? Can you tell me? No idea. What to do is it? I'll just take a book and explain it to you. 1 second. Now you see, this is a square plane, right? This book represents square plane. Now this square plane, at the center there is A, B, 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 B at each corner. There is a bond above, okay, like this, and there is a bond below like this. Now imagine, for this bond above, axial bond, if you are going to connect all the corners like this, how many faces will be there at the top?
4.
Alright. Very good. So like that, if you connect the 4 corners to the bond below axial bond, how many faces?
4.
4.
4. So totally how many faces are there for the structure?
8.
8.
Therefore, it is called octahedral structure. Okay. So it is octahedral structure. Okay. In this octahedral structure, can you tell me how many equatorial bonds are there?
4.
4.
How many axial bonds?
2.
2. Now I'll mark. You have to tell me what is the bond angle there. Can you?
120 degree.
It is not triangular. 360 divided by 4 bonds along the square. Correct? No? It should be 90. 9 4 the 360, right? 90 into 4. So similarly, what is this bond angle? Angle between axial and equatorial. 90 degree.
90 degree.
So both of them have 90 degree. Okay, fine. So are you all writing? Shall I proceed? Hmm? This octahedral geometry name is abbreviated as OH. It is a standard symbol you can use. TD for tetrahedral, OH for octahedral. Shall I proceed now, students?
Yes, sir.
So this is about regular geometries. Okay. Now, along with these bond pairs, if a molecule has a lone pair, then the regular geometries will be, what do we say? The regular geometries will get
That
distorted. Regular geometries will be spoiled. They deviate from the normal bond angles. So now we'll take up molecules with bond pairs and lone pairs. Okay, both. So the regular geometry will be not there, it will be distorted. That's it. Okay, so now we shall take up one. What I'll do to understand better and for continuity, I'll also write first regular geometry and then continue with the distorted geometries of lone pair. Okay, we'll take up first one. First one corresponds to AB2 molecule. Excuse me. Molecule is AB2. Let me do one thing. I'll mark which column is what. Okay. So type of molecule, first column will be type of molecule that we represent a general form. Okay. So in that molecule, how many bond pair and how many lone pair like that? Bond pair, lone pair. Okay. Let me write a little closer. Bond pair, lone pair, and total number of pairs. Total number of electron pairs. That's the name. Okay. So after that, this structure. And at the end, exam. We'll take like this. Okay. So we shall take up further. First one, AB2 molecule. AB2 molecule. In AB2 molecule, can you tell me how many bond pairs? Pardon me? In
Two.
AB2, how
bond.
many bond pairs? Some I couldn't get
Two.
two bond pair. How many lone pair? Zero. It's a AB2 means just one central atom that we had written no previously. The same thing I'm writing. As I told you, first we shall write regular geometry and then indicate what if the molecule has lone pair line. So AB2, two bond pair, one zero lone pair. Total number of electron pair from both bond pair and lone pair will be two itself. What will be the structure?
Linear.
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 Okay, this is okay. So if you want to write carbon dioxide as an example, beryllium fluoride, these are all some of the molecules with one central atom, two surrounding atom, and two bond pair. No lone pair. Okay. Now, with one lone pair, the same molecule, let's say, if this molecule has one lone pair and one bond pair, what would happen? The structure still remains linear itself. The structure would not get distorted. So there is no question of lone pair in AB2. Even if there is a lone pair in AB2, it becomes a linear molecule. So let's not worry about it. We'll go to second molecule, AB3. AB3 has how many bond pair?
3. 3.
How many lone pair?
0.
0.
How many total number of pair therefore?
3.
What is the
3.
expected structure?
Trigonal planar.
Trigonal planar.
Okay, so trigonal planar. The structure of the molecule, boron trifluoride example. This kind of molecules, boron trifluoride, boron is central, surrounding 3 fluorine, 3 bond pair, AlCl3, aluminum fluoride. Okay, next, this particular case can have a lone pair. Now I'll write it as 2A. 2A for the reason that the same molecule where one bond pair become lone pair, there will be only 2 surrounding atom. So 2 surrounding atom and 1 lone pair. It is therefore represented as, in general formula, AB to L like that. L for lone pair. AB to L means there is one A central atom, 2 surrounding B atom means 2 bond pair. L means 1 lone pair. So now people have to tell me. Bond pair?
2.
2.
Lone pair?
1.
Total number of pairs?
3.
3. Total number of pairs 3 only. Now all the 3 electron pairs basically would be arranging like a trigonal planar only geometry. Okay, so I write A. So there is 3 electron pairs. If it were to be all bond pairs, they would have had a trigonal planar geometry like this. But what is that? One of the electron pair is lone pair. Correct? Lone pair. Remaining 2 are bond pairs. Pair electron in bonds. Attach B atoms to bond pair. And if this lone pair doesn't have any atom connected, so remove that bond. Now this is the structure. Lone pair doesn't directly give structure for the molecule like bonds. Only bond pairs will give geometry, right? Lone pair may distort the geometry, that's all, but the geometry is due to bond pairs. Now, what kind of structure is this? Because one lone pair will reduce the number of bonds. As a result, the expected triangular geometry will not be there. Okay, will not be there. So therefore, the structure of the molecule will be called a bent molecule, simply bent or inverted V shape. Excuse me. This is a bent molecule or inverted V shape like that. Example, see, sulfur dioxide we had written some time back, and ozone we have written. So there these molecules have one lone pair at the center and remaining bond pairs, they have bent structure. Okay, fine. So is there any other possibility of having lone pair under AB3? No. If I replace one more bond with lone pair, then it may be represented as ABL2. But what would be the structure of ABL2 with only one bond? It will be linear. So we will be predicting when there is more than one surrounding atom. Okay, so there is no question of ABL2 kind of molecule. Okay, even if it is there, it will have linear structure. There is no ambiguity about it. So fine, we shall take up next third one. Third one, see, 3 bond pairs of AB3 is completed. Next we'll take up AB4. Okay, AB4 means 4 bond pairs, right? Now this regular geometry we'll write first. AB4 will have 4 bond pairs, 0 lone pair,
0 lone.
Total number of electron pairs will be 4. And what is the expected structure? Therefore,
Tetrahedron.
tetrahedron. Tetrahedral tree. Okay, so this is the example could be methane, carbon tetrachloride, SiF4, silicon tetrafluoride, like that. Okay. Any singly bonded carbon in hydrocarbons will be tetrahedral actually. Okay. So this is the thing. So this is regular geometry. In this regular geometry, if the molecule contains lone pair, then what would happen? Next we shall write now 3a. What is 3a? If one of the bond pair is a lone pair, then how would be the general type of the general formula of the molecule? AB3L, like that. Now central atom A is surrounded by 3 B atoms and one lone pair it has. So can you tell me first column, how many bond pair?
3.
How many lone pair?
1.
1,
Total number of pairs? 4 itself.
4.
4.
Now totally all the 4 electron pairs arranged around the central A atom in the same tetrahedral manner. If it were to be all bonds like this, all bonds would be arranged in the same manner, tetrahedral manner. But one of them is lone pair now. Okay, one of them is lone pair. Let us say this bond has lone pair but not bond pair. Remaining 3 are bond pairs. To the bond pairs, B atoms are connected. Correct? B atoms. Now this lone pair doesn't contribute for the structure. You just remove. There is no bond. Now this will be the structure. See, if you see all the 4 electron pair, they still will be by and large according to tetrahedral geometry. Since lone pair is occupying one of the bond, that bond will not be there. The remaining 3 bonds will be inducing structure for the molecule. So what is the structure? The structure is called pyramidal or trigonal pyramidal also they say. Trigonal pyramidal or just pyramidal like that. 1 second. Pyramidal structure. Okay. So now this pyramidal structure will be seen in H3 molecule. There is lone pair on nitrogen atom and it is surrounded by 3 hydrogen. Like that PCl3, phosphorus trifluoride. Okay. So this is AB3L. We shall take one next category. That is 3B. There can be one more bond pair becoming lone pair. If one more bond pair in the same geometry becomes lone pair, the molecule can be represented as AB2
L2.
How many bond pair now?
2.
How many lone pair?
2.
2,
How many total number of pair? 4.
4.
The
4.
4 electron pairs would be arranging in a tetrahedral manner itself. So how would we write, if it were to be a bond pair, all the 4 bond pair? 1, 2, 3, 4. They would arrange in a tetrahedral manner itself. But 2 of them are lone pair now. 2 of them are lone pair. Let's say this bond has become lone pair. This bond has become, right? Remaining 2 will be connected with the surrounding B atoms. Now lone pair doesn't have bonds. Let us remove that bond. Now can you tell me what is the structure similar we have seen before just now? What is the structure? Bent molecule. Or inverted V shape. Only thing was, previous case, there were 3 pairs. One of them was lone pair, remaining 2 were bond pair. It's bent. So ozone is SO2 level. Here, 2 lone pair, 2 bond pair. So best example of this category is water. Water and H2S. So both sulfur and oxygen belong to same group actually, 16. So they have 2 unpaired electron, 2 lone pair. So now if by any chance, if one more bond becomes lone pair, then it may become AbL3, but that becomes linear because single bond is always linear. It will not have any other geometry. Is it okay? Yes. So with 4 bond pairs and lone pairs we have discussed. Next we'll go to 5 pairs, that is AB5 and distorted geometries, AB6 and distorted geometries. That we'll discuss in the next class. Okay. So today enough. Thank you. Yes, we'll meet for the next class. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, can you send the recording of today's class, sir?
ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕಾ ಬರೀ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಸಾಕಾ?
Notes.
ಈಗ ನಾನು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಸಾಕಾ, ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಡವಾ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬೇಕಾ ಬರೀ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾ?
Video class, sir.
ಆಯ್ತು. ಯಾಕೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು?
Sir, I had network issue starting, sir. I could not hear.
ಓಕೆ ಆಯ್ತು. ರೈಟ್.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to end the meeting.